you said 2025 is the worst year of your life.
It's been a wild year. I thought I was Superman. I was like, you can't take me down. Everyone can get taken down. And last year I got really, really bad burnout.
Do you feel depressed?
Yeah, I felt really, really, really down. 1 minute you're Tigger, and the next minute you're literally on the floor.
Because we had our fallout on MIC.
We had a few, mate.
Get out of my office. Fuck you. Bare fucking minimum.
You dated Sophie, my now wife. You guys broke up, and I started dating her behind your back.
You had a bit of a history for going after people's exes. I remember saying to you afterwards, just please don't do this one.
You and I did not talk
For like half a year.
Here we go.
Hello, I'm Sam Thompson, and I'm in great company.
He stole the nation's heart.
King of the jungle.
Sam Thompson.
Louise basically had a very tricky pregnancy and nearly died on giving birth.
Nearly died 3 times. That was one of the hardest times in my life by an absolute fucking mile, because I remember the doctor came in twice and went with constant bleeding. And I was like, oh my fucking God, like, what?
This is a nightmare.
I don't even think I properly process it now, if I'm honest with you.
You did a 260-mile endurance challenge from London to Manchester, carrying the SoccerAid ball.
I was 2K away from the end of the first marathon. I felt like a gunshot had taken my fucking calf out. The physio goes to me, he goes, mate, you've torn your calf. And I went, what do you mean? He went, you're not running on that.
Guys, welcome back to Great Company. Really excited for this episode today because this is one of the guests that you've been asking for a long, long time. And so today's episode is with Sam Thompson. Okay, Sam and I did Made in Chelsea together back in the day. We have had a rocky relationship and we kind of get into that nitty gritty about that. This episode is going to blow your mind. Now, before we start, I just want to ask you one favor. If you can please click subscribe. This show is completely free and we want to keep it that way. So if you subscribe, it does us so many more things than you can possibly imagine. It means we can keep getting the guests that you like and keep making the show better and better each week. So if you can do that one thing, thank you so much. Remember to comment, let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you think of mine and Sam's relationship. And I really hope you enjoy this episode of Great Company. Sammy! When do you remember we first met?
I know, you won't know when we first met, but I know exactly when we
was
first
it?
met. It was when I drove my sister to pick something up from your flat that you lived in with Francis, Spencer and you.
Yeah.
But you won't remember this, mate.
I might remember it.
It was, you know, when you go up the Harwood Road and turn right?
Yeah.
It was that flat there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that, mate.
Opposite the Chelsea Stadium.
Yeah, mate. So that was like years. That was way before I even joined the show.
That was my funnest. That was the best. That was the funnest time. Like if I look back at times in my life, that period when I was living in that flat with Francis and Proudlock, and we had just started doing Made in Chelsea, was like, it was just so carefree.
Yeah, mate.
There was nothing. There was no. I just had to worry about dying. I didn't have to worry about anything.
Mate, I remember you guys. I think it was you. It was you who opened the door. And I was like, oh my God, it's Jamie Lang. And he go, because you opened the door and you went, you're right. I think you might have even been hungover. And you're just like, you're right. And you were like, I think it was because Spencer lived there. He was like, Spen, like that. And you turn around and I was like, oh my God, this is actually like Made in Chelsea. Because mate, I was a bartender back then.
Because how old were you when you started the show?
21.
Were you 21?
Or was I 20? In 20, so late 20, about to be 21.
So what was your impression when you first?
When I first joined?
Yeah.
None of you want to speak to me. Yeah. None of you want to speak to me. I remember that really well. And I get it. I get what it's like because obviously you don't know who this like really young. And I looked about 16 as well at that point.
Young.
And I remember you just like when you join a new school, and like it's not like anyone's gonna like you're not gonna go out of your way to speak to the new kid because I'm so like young. I'm so much younger than everyone as well. So I knew it was gonna happen, mate. No one spoke to me. You know when you do those event days and you go in and like I used to like look over. Oh God, I'm Made in Chelsea event day, and I stood there, and I remember you know when everyone goes for lunch.
Yeah.
And you guys, all the cool kids, went for lunch, and I just stood there.
Not eating.
Mate,
just waiting for the next scene.
Just stood, just stood waiting. Just like talking to the camera guys. And then my sister felt bad for me and went, do you want to come for lunch with me, Rosie and Binky? And I was like, yes, please. And so I just sat there at their lunch and didn't say a word.
It was when we first, I remember what was your first ever scene that you did on Made in Chelsea?
Opening the door to Andy Jordan, who
I remember
who was going through, I think, a breakup with Louise. And I will never forget this. It was Andy comes in and he's like, and all I had to do was open the door. It's like my big reveal. And he goes, just open the door, right, and go, Andy, I know why you're here. Come in. And that was, and then turn around and go, Louise, and that was it, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Mate, I did that scene about 50 times. I was opening the door. I went, Mr. Jordan, I think I know why you're here. And then he went, cut. And I was like, what? He goes, you're shaking. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you're visibly shaking. I was like, okay, fine. Mate, it happened about so many times. And then I started like adding things in because I was so nervous. I've opened the door. Mr. Jordan, I think I know why you're here. Let me put the kettle on.
Yeah, because
anyway,
trying to keep doing it.
panicking, and he goes, they're not having tea. They're not having tea. And eventually, this is so bad. Eventually, Andy, when he was very sweet about it, he literally went, look, mate, I know this is your first time. Like, don't worry, I'll do it. And bear in mind, he's going through a breakup. Like, they're about to have like a really savage scene, and he's literally. I've opened the door. He's taken the brother who's meant to be like, oh, you're coming into my sort of space.
Yeah.
He's taken me by the shoulders and led me into my own house.
Man, I remember first like starting MIC, and it was like, because I just didn't understand it. I think you got it quite quickly because I think you're more in tune with that kind of like idea of, okay, this is an entertainment show. We're making entertainment here. I, for ages, didn't understand it.
Do you know what? Was weird though? Is back then it was so great because I don't really think there was any career possibilities around it. So in my head, I was like, just screw around for a little bit and then go and get like, sort of like a different job, right? So like enjoy the early 20s. And then, because we didn't have Instagram.
We had nothing.
Then.
We had Twitter. That was it.
And no one had really, it wasn't like there's like, it's so weird because it's like a double-edged sword. You go into a reality show not knowing there's anything beyond it. And then you see there's something beyond it eventually, and there's like an industry there, this kind of stuff, or radio or presenting or whatever it is. But then you go, I can't get to it because of the barrier that doing a reality show.
Well, explain that. What do you mean?
Well, but before that, I didn't know though. This is the point I was sort of making, is that when I first started, I didn't know there was any industry behind. I just thought it was a reality TV show that you'd have fun in your early 20s and then go and get a different job. And so that was when I was the most sort of like free. And all I wanted to do was just like entertain, like I used to do at school, like class clown kind of stuff. Do you know what I remember? Like I made Fran Newman Young a mixtape where I was naked on it.
Yeah, but that was your charm.
Maybe, do you know, I loved doing that.
That was the best.
And I never got embarrassed, and I never got like, sort of like, there was no ego or anything like that. It was literally just like, I want to have fun and make people laugh. All I wanted to do was make people laugh. And I really enjoyed the first couple of years. I mean, people hated me, by the way, on the first few years. All the Twitter was just like, oh, I hate him, he's gap tooth, he looks like Gollum and all this kind of shit. But like, I loved it. The first 2 years of that show, I adored. There was like, because it was just, there was no pressure, no nothing. And I could just try and entertain people. And I don't know whether I did that, because as I said, I don't think I was very liked. But yeah, it was, those first 2 years are great. And then you realise there's a industry behind it.
Yeah, so for you, right, like, it was. I remember when Main Chelsea started to become a job for me, and I was like, okay, here we go. Right, I've now chosen this career. Now I've actually got to make something of it. And there was like a turning point where it stopped being a hobby, where I was hanging out with my mates, and suddenly I was like, right, I got to make this into like a job. I've got to go. What was that moment for you? Where you saying like, okay, I got to try and make this?
Probably. It's probably actually weirdly the moment that I was quite late on, I think, where I realised that it's when I did Big Brother, probably.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because then I was just like, oh, wow. That's when I realised there was an industry behind it. And I was like, oh, my God, like there's so much past Made in Chelsea that I didn't realise. And I was like, oh, my God, Big Brother, you told me not to do it.
Yeah, I did.
You told me not to do it.
100% I did.
You were,
and I was so wrong.
But you were so...
This is in 2017.
You were so, as you just said, so well versed. And you always have been. You've been like a leader in sort of like... like I have looked up to you massively, sort of like, oh, getting deeper already. Like but genuinely in terms of you pioneer a lot, and then I go, oh, that's possible, and I'll try and follow suit. And I'm really lucky to have, someone like you that I could do that with. So I feel like a lot of people don't have that person. So mate, you literally led the charge in so many sort of ways. But I remember with Big Brother being like, I just used to watch it as a kid all the time. And I remember, like, do you remember when you could watch it live?
Yeah.
And you heard the birds tweeting
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, it's amazing.
And you just watch them hang out. They should do that in the jungle, by the way, I think. I think they should show a live feed of the camp.
Very good idea.
But I used to sit down for hours watching Big Brother when it was on Channel 4. And then when they were like, do you want to do it? All I could think about was sitting in that chair and being like, I've watched that chair for years and I get the chance to sit in it. And I remember you being like, nah, mate, it's not the right move, like career suicide, because it was a little bit frowned upon and stuff. But then, like, when I did that show, I really realized there was like way more past it. And there were like so many more opportunities and things you could do in this industry, which made me really excited. But then, you know what it's like. You go into any sort of reality show and then...
It's a shortcut. There's a long road around it.
Exactly. And I feel like the problem is that the door that you see that you're like, oh, I'd like to go through there because I think I'm quite good at this industry. Like, I think I could do quite good at radio hosting or could be quite good this or quite good that. You try and walk through the door and it's steel.
Yeah.
And you're like, can't see to get through that bad boy.
100%. You can't push it open.
Can't push it open.
Do you know the Big Brother thing is so interesting, Sammy? Because I remember, I'm going to be very honest with you, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I remember with Made in Chelsea, it was suddenly we realized that, okay, there's an opportunity here to get into like this world of entertainment. And we all who were doing Made in Chelsea, like enjoyed like the idea of filming and we enjoyed that whole idea of like doing different shows and everything. And my agency had always said to me, you pick a lane and you follow that North Star and you never change it.
Yeah.
If anything comes in for you, we say no to it. And I was like, okay, fine. All right. Okay.
Terrifying.
Yeah, okay, fine. I got it. Because if you want to get credibility, that's what you got to do, right? That's what you've got to do. And so then when you were offered Big Brother, the part of me was like, I'm listening to this North Star. If Sam does this, it's going to be career suicide because he's going to go on Big Brother. And the other half of me was jealous that you were doing it.
It's Big Brother.
Yeah, because exposing yourself and doing a different channel would be really exciting. And I got offered the Big Brothers and offered the things. And my agency said, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. And part of me was going, but maybe it would be a good idea to do. I think it would be a good idea. And so when you went onto it, the reason why I was a bit like almost forward with it is partly because I was like, well, maybe this is a bad idea for him. But secondly, because I'm jealous he's taking that risk.
Yeah.
And the great Sammy with you, what you've done so like insanely well in your career, which I admire so much, is you've never had any sort of ego or any sort of look down upon on certain shows. And you've gone, no, this show I could make this show amazing. Doesn't matter what anyone else has done. If I do Big Brother, I know I could make it amazing. If I go and do Celebs Go Dating, I know I can make it amazing. You carved out your own path. You haven't looked at what anyone else has done. And from my side, I've gone like, damn, that's fucking great.
Scary then.
Yeah, really scary. Really scary, I can imagine.
But mate, do you know what? That's very sweet of you, mate.
But I promise you, I'm not lying about that. Because when you came out of Big Brother, I remember seeing the amount of people that loved you. And for people who don't know this, when Sam, you were doing Made in Chelsea, there were so many times that you used to come to me and you used to say, I think I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's a career for me in this. Every scene that I do, I'm always seen as like the little brother or your friend or this or that. Everyone sees me as like making fun of me. I'm not moving up this food chain of Made in Chelsea because you had the Spencers and you had the Francis and you had the Proudlong. And weirdly, it's like an age thing. Because we were older, it's like school. We had more status. So you couldn't see yourself breaking through it. So what you did is you went against the grain.
Circumnavigate it.
Amazing,
But
right?
mate, do you know
was
what?
that tactical?
Yeah. Because I knew that at that point, like I knew with like the Celebs Go Dating and stuff, I was like, I want other opportunities to experience. And I wasn't feeling like I could experience much on Made in Chelsea because it's so linear. Like it was the same thing over and over again, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like, mate, but you know, you have the same thing with that with like TV presenting.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, it's an age thing. Like,
What do you mean?
well, you know what it's like. I mean, we've both gone for loads of things, and it's, you know, it's a lot of time it's this, and I understand why, because it's like this in every job, not just this industry, but it's the safe option, isn't it? Where like you're like, it's like, well, this person's hosted that before, so we're gonna have them, and it's like that person, and they're never going. You know what's how hard it is to knock down that door of no. I genuinely believe I can do this, and I genuinely believe that I can make it a really good show. and we can bond and connect with the viewer in a different way maybe than some of the hosts that you're using now. But you know what it's like it's just an age thing. It's an age thing, and it's a ladder thing, and you've just got to wait and accept it is what it is. There's that you can't circumnavigate that either.
No,
you just have to sit there and wait.
But doing a show like Big Brother, right? It's very risky because it's people, the audience see every side of you. And on Made in Chelsea, you're edited, so you can kind of edit yourself in a certain way. And so this is like complete. Right, here I am. This is for everyone to like judge and not judge. Were you worried about that?
No,
not at all.
No, because I was so young. I wasn't even that young actually. I think it was like 24, 25.
So young.
25, I think.
That's so young.
I mean, no, it is young. Or was I 24? I can't remember. You'll know. 2017.
So 2017, I would have been.
So when's that?
So you would have been 24.
24. Like, but mate, you know, my mental age back then was like, I've always been a late bloomer. And so like my mental age at 24 was probably like 20, maybe like 19. And so like I went in and just loved it. I couldn't do it now. I could not do it now. Like I was the perfect age and at the perfect time in my life to just go in there and enjoy whatever it was. Because there was nothing to lose, mate, either. Like, what's I going to lose? You can't lose anything because I didn't have anything.
What was the moment, do you think, in Chelsea that you suddenly realised that you had been accepted? Because there was a turning
Accepted
point.
by who?
Well, because there was a turning point, which is where you were Louise's younger brother. That's who you were. And then suddenly, which people don't realise about Made in Chelsea, there's this food chain where you have what they would call the A stories, and then you would have the B stories.
And then there's C's.
And then there were C stories.
I was always the C.
But you jumped to A story. And you suddenly became a pivotal, like, really big key player within Made in Chelsea.
Yeah, but not through good reasons. I would become the A story through bad relationship decisions.
What do you mean?
Like my first ever girlfriend, Tiff. Like that wasn't a good, like, it's weird because you're that young. It's such an odd one, isn't it? Because, you know, that was my first ever girlfriend.
I didn't know.
On TV. Mad, mate. So you are navigating your first ever relationship at like, I think I was 22, no, I was 21. I was 21 when I met
While
Tim.
being filmed.
While being filmed. Mate, you know, I went, I mean, you can watch this on TV. I went for a kiss. I think it was our first date with me and Tiff. Filmed. And I leaned in and she swerved me. And she went, what are you doing? I think it was like Crazy Girl. And I went like this. I leant in, and she went, "Whoa," like that. Because in real life, that probably would happen. Yeah. But I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never been on a date. She was my first ever date.
Get out of here!
I'm being deadly serious on my mate. My first date. Dude, you know how late of a bloomer I was, man. No. Don't get me wrong. Like I'd go out, and like maybe I'd kiss someone on like a night out,
but a date.
I'd never taken them on a date. So, mate, my first date with what turned out to be my first girlfriend. My first lean in on my first date, and it's all being filmed, and she swerved. Do you know what the wild thing is? Back then, didn't care. Didn't care. I was like, this is so cool. I didn't even think about it, mate. And like even back then, I thought it was funny. Yeah. Now, if I let in someone swerve me, I'd probably cry. But dude, that's when I started, and that was a lovely part. Because then I had my first girlfriend and went out.
Yeah, amazing.
But you only ever really do sort of, in any reality shows, not just Made in Chelsea, like in any of those reality shows, you only ever really do sort of like, and you know this, like become one of the main stories if something goes wrong, realistically. And so it's never like for a good reason, is it? It's always like for a bit of a bad reason.
For you when you were a kid, right? Did you think fame was going to be exciting? Did you want to be famous?
No, weirdly. I always had this discussion with Pete because Pete, I think, thinks I do. I think Pete thinks that I love the fame. I don't love the fame. I love what comes with it.
Explain.
I love the fact that I can make content for a living and make funny videos. Mate, that's where I'm happiest. That is shit, but I couldn't do that if I wasn't well known. Like, I couldn't do podcasting if I wasn't well known. I couldn't do radio if I wasn't well known. I couldn't do that run that we did, mate, if I wasn't well known. Like, all of those things, I love people. So I love connecting with people. Dude, I don't leave the house otherwise. So like the fame part, I don't really party. I don't really go out. I don't really go clubbing. So like that part of the fame, take it or leave it. I don't really think we're all that famous either, to be fair. I always used to remember, do you remember on Main Chelsea? I won't say their names, so there were some people on Main Chelsea who thought we were fucking Hollywood A-listers. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I think they still do.
And I used to sit there and be like, mate, we are the dregs. We are.
When we were doing the show together, you and I became really close. You were the person that I would phone every single day. You're the person that I'd talk to every single day. I'd phone you 3, 4, 5 times a day, speak to you about anything. And the things that I kind of...
We still do.
And the things which I slightly regret, I think, is that I leaned on you far more than you would lean on me. I would use you as a place to vent, place to say I feel this, place to say I feel that. And there were times when I felt really low and anxious, and you were the one that I leaned on. And I sort of said, and I never really reciprocated in that way. I just sort of lent on you in certain ways. And we had this amazing friendship.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like, it was reciprocated, but maybe just in a different way. Like, you know, having someone that you know has your back, I think it goes a really, really long way. So it's give and take, right? And that's, I think, what an amazing brothership is about.
But because we had our fallout on MIC.
We had a few, mate. I mean, I don't even know which one you're talking about.
The biggest fallout we had was because of Sophie. Here we go. Do you know what's interesting though is that after I did my run, right?
Yeah. You called me.
I know.
It was I was on my run, by the way, it's not just training for it. And I will never forget that phone call.
Yeah, I phoned for anyone who is listening and doesn't know our history. Sam dated Sophie, my now wife, and
even that sounds mental.
He dated her, and look,
not for long, by the way. Yeah, but out there.
But there were emotions from both sides. Yeah. There was emotions, and you guys dated. You guys broke up, and I think you were probably a little bit more upset than Sophie was because you were, you know. Anyway, you guys broke.
It's just getting dumped, mate.
You got dumped.
Getting dumped, no matter how you shake it, is
shit.
It's just shit.
It's shit. You got dumped. And then what happened is I went to South Africa on a trip, and I was newly single, and I then started dating her. And I started dating her behind your back. And I didn't tell you. And you know, it was... It wasn't great. It was not good. It was bad. It was cowardly from me. I didn't talk about it with you. And the reason is because I didn't firstly think it was going to really continue the way it did continue. I thought, no, this can't be right. It's not going to continue forever. And so I lied to you. And after I finished my run, even though it's bygones be bygones, I'm married to Sophie. You came to my wedding. I phoned you up, and what did I say to you?
You went, mate, I feel like I have never actually fully apologized to you for not being honest with you. And you were like, mate, which is so wild because you're right. Bygones years ago, mate, like couldn't have been happy with you for you guys 4 years ago, 5 years ago, however many years ago. But it's so weird because you said that and it made me really emotional. And not even because I wanted it or needed it or anything. If anything, I don't know. It's just showing that kind of emotion and that kind of like, it really meant something to you to say that.
Mm.
Well, like, I could tell when you called me, that really meant something to you, and that made the fact that you were feeling vulnerable, and you said that to me. I was like, mate, that's just such a magical thing.
Weirdly, because when I finished my run, I was depleted of anything, and it made me look at life as like really like pure and realize the mistakes I'd make and the good things I had done, and it made me realize pretty much all the mistakes I had done and the people I hadn't said sorry to really, and the things that I'd probably upset people doing. And I had a real sort of change in whole character. And so I phoned you up just to really say that how sorry I was, that if I had ever hurt you and let you down, which I had done, that I'm really sorry for doing that.
But mate, it turned out so good.
It did turn out.
That see that's the thing. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
How upsetting was it though when that was happening? Because that was a big fallout for us, and we didn't talk. You and I did not talk
for like half a year.
So think about this, Sammy. I'd gone from speaking 4 or 5 every day, every day, to you just going nothing.
Yeah, Do you know what? Again, it feels like, I don't know about you, but it feels like a different life.
It is.
for
It
me.
feels like a different life. Totally.
But
I get that.
my life goes in those kind of like stages where like I compartmentalize parts of my life. And that was like a really interesting part because I just moved into my new place and I had like housemates and JP and like all of that kind of stuff. And I'd left the show at that point. So I was doing build. I was like trying to be a presenter.
you
So I wasn't on the show, mate. And I think that's why it was so weird to me because I was like, dude, like, because you feel like you're not connected at all. So it's almost like it's behind your back. But it's not really behind your back. But as I said to you before, mate, I think back then I was like, it was just, I remember being like, because you had a history. This is the thing, you had a bit of a history for going after people's exes and people's girlfriends and stuff like that. You were just like that, mate. And you were young and we've all been there. And I remember saying to you afterwards, just please don't do this one. I was like, please. And then it happened. And then I think it's because you didn't tell me and I had to see it and hear, you know, when you hear rumors and stuff, you're like, wait, what? You tell me. And I was like, it was just that. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Why don't you fucking tell me? Like, and I was like, he's just done the one fucking thing. Because at that time, no, I was just like, that's not going to fucking last. And like, is he going to throw away this for that? Mate, now, obviously you sit there and you go, and that's why I said, you better goddamn get married. And you goddamn got married. You goddamn got married. You goddamn had a kid. And like, it just worked out fucking perfectly. And I think sometimes, mate, I just think sometimes things are meant to happen. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to get all like weird, but like sometimes I think of the universe and I do think things happen for a reason. And I just think me not being on the show at that point and you having like the freedom and the space to really connect with somebody without the pressure of like one of my best mates being there. And like what are the odds that I'm not there and that you can actually seed and flower this really nice thing that turns out to be like a fucking marriage.
Do you want to get married and have kids?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. My time's running out.
What do you mean it's running
I
out?
want to be a dad so badly. Okay. So badly, man. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if it will, but
Why?
I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I sometimes feel sad that I'm never going to get to be a dad. And like, I would love to be a dad at some point.
Sammy, Al Pacino had a kid. He's like 82.
I don't want to be 80. I want to be a youngish parent. I hope one day I really want to be a parent. More than anything, I just want Pete to be a godfather to my kid. Like, I would love that so much. I would love that so much.
Did you find dating hard?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Really hard.
Did you use the dating apps?
Yeah.
Yes. What was on your profile? Come on, give it to me.
I obviously don't have it anymore.
Yeah, obviously not now.
I got banned from Hinge because they didn't think it was me. And so, I didn't want to send him. I didn't want to send him. You're like, so basically you have to send a ticket in, and being like, I'm really like, this is why, like, this is my explanation, and they were, and I just didn't want to be like, oh hi, like, I am Sam Thompson, so I just left it. Raya, weird one.
Was it weird?
No one talks to each other on there.
Do they not?
Weird, or just not me.
What was on your profile? What does it say? Hi, I'm Sam Thompson.
No, it's just an emoji of a wizard. It's a wizard emoji. Likes cats. Anyway, it's so lame. Yeah, it's so bad.
Everyone's like, match.
No, everyone's like, no, not one. Everyone's, I got no matches.
Oh.
I think I performed better when I meet them in real life.
you do, yeah.
And it's just, mate, my chat is weak, man.
What music did you pick? Because on Rare, you have to pick music, I think, don't you?
Oh my God, what was it? What music did I play? Fuck, I do remember. What the fuck was
How
it
long
called?
did it take you to pick as well?
I asked Ryan. Ryan picked it for me. I think it was like a cowboy themed thing. Ryan picked it for me. We were having an ice bath together. And he was like, here you go, mate. Have a bit of that. He goes, that will get him flooding in. After being in such a long way, going, oh fuck. Things have changed.
Also, when you go out there for the first time and try and flirt, it's just like, hey,
Mate.
you're literally like, hello.
Honestly,
I like biscuits.
I think my name's Sam, and this is all about me. Like, this is everything you need to know about me. Here you go, all in one. They're like, I wasn't even looking at you. It's a mate dude trying to slide in someone's DMs.
What did you start? When
do
you
you reply to a story? I don't know. Do you what do you do? Oh God, my worst ever sliding was I sent a lemon emoji.
Nice.
Is it?
I don't know what that means.
I sent a lemon emoji and then went, what's this? And I couldn't find an opening line. Mate, it's
not
real
bad.
Tough real tough out there, man. It was real tough.
What do you like when it comes to heartbreak?
Heartbreak? I don't really know.
I remember when you broke up with Tiff, right?
Yeah.
Your first one.
Mate, tough.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
Horrific, but that was my first girlfriend.
That was your
first love.
That was
so like that's a double whammy. And that. But the right thing.
Of course.
Like the right thing. It's so hard to see at the time. But I remember when that happened and I was like beside myself. God, it feels like it honestly feels like a completely different lifetime. But yeah, I was beside myself and I remember being like lying. I remember like I was like kneeling near my bed going, this pain is absolutely
Where's the knife?
horrific.
I need to remove the knife.
Mate,
Where is
I
it?
felt the knife was in my stomach.
Yeah,
I was like, this,
get it out.
I was like, if this, and I remember being like, if this is the pain that I have ever caused, I never want, I can't
feel that again.
Can't feel that again.
You don't even know what shoes to put in the water.
But I then felt so bad on Tiff because I was like, if I had ever caused her that, the pain that I'm feeling now, if I'd ever caused that, like and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that breakup because, mate, we were so young and like we were both, not just me, we were both idiots. But you know, I definitely played my fair share in that, and like the pain. I think anyone who's going through that at that sort of young age, but it's I know it's such a weird thing to say,
but again, you have to go through.
You have to do it
Yeah.
because, mate, it teaches you so
100%.
much, dude.
It heals that heart.
Mate, but do you know
and you
what?
know you can get through it.
You can get through it, and you don't think you can at the time, and you're literally like, if I can get through that, like real heartbreak, I can get through like anything. And also it teaches you, I think, that how you should and shouldn't be in relationships moving forward. Like I learned a lot in terms of like who I wanted to be, who I didn't want to be from my first relationship. Shout out to Tiff.
Can I, because you said 2025 is the worst year of your life.
Turn into the best. Turn into the best. Yeah. Ow.
Why is it turned into the best?
It's been the most amazing year ever.
Give it to me.
I've changed as like, it sounds so lame, but like I've grown massively, which I absolutely needed. Like I know myself so much. I feel like this is probably who I'm going to be for the foreseeable in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I've hit another stage of who I am. I feel like I know my friends are closer than they've ever been.
Man,
like
amazing.
I've got like, I see my friends so much. I put a lot more effort into spending time with my family, which for me was a huge deal because I was
distant.
This sounds really shitty because it's so hard to. It sounds like you're moaning, but I'm not actually moaning. I'm so lucky to do what I do, but anyone can get burnout. Doesn't matter. You can do the thing that you love to do the most in the world, but you can still get burnout. And last year I got really, really bad burnout. And I just, because, mate, you win the jungle, you take every opportunity that's thrown at you, right? You're like, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. And eventually I thought I was Superman. I was like, you can't take me down. Everyone can get taken down. If you take too much on mentally and physically, doesn't matter how much fun you think you're having, you can't do it all.
What did it feel like?
Oh, mate, it was terrible. It was like, do you know what weird? I felt ill all the time, but I wasn't actually ill. It was like I think it was my head. It was just, it was weird. I just was always tired.
Do you feel depressed?
Yeah, I felt really, really, really down. And then I didn't spend any time with my family because I felt like if I ever got a time on my own, I would just need to sit in stasis. And be like, oh my God, okay, just recharge the batteries. I think that's maybe an ADHD thing as well. Like, you know, 1 minute you're Tigger, and the next minute you're literally on the
Eel,
floor.
yeah. Because
Eel.
you give energy to everyone else.
Yeah, and then
you need to just recharge.
Do you know what's quite hard on that sense is and this isn't a woe is me thing. I'm actually quite glad I got ADHD, but it's when you don't give what people expect you to give, and then people think you're in a bad mood or they think you're like feeling off, and you're like, I'm not trying to be off. I'm just not always there, and you just don't see that because if you've ever seen me and I don't know you, you've probably seen me there because I'm doing something I really enjoy, like I'm seeing Tony Bellew for the first time, or like just fucking around with Pete, which I adore. But yeah, that's quite hard. But I didn't spend any time with my family, and this year I spent so much more time with my sister, but most importantly with Leo.
Oh, your
Mate,
nephew.
I spend so much more time with him. Like, I pick him up from school. I'll literally like take him for ice cream. I'll take him to the park. I'll come round and just hang with him now. And like, I feel like, I don't know. You've got a nephew, haven't you? I struggled a bit at the start
Same.
because you don't know where your place is.
And you don't connect.
You don't, yeah, because they're so young.
And it's not yours.
And you're like, and I was like, oh God, I don't really know where I fit into this. And now he's like a little extension of me, and I think that's so cool. And it's one of the biggest triumphs of this year, I think, is the amount of time and the relationship that I've built with my nephew, and it's one of the biggest things that I'll take into next year and the year after that, and I'm just gonna like just hold on to that because it's the comfiest I ever feel with my soul.
With you and Louise, man.
Yeah.
You guys, you're ride or dies. You're basically in a weird kind of way soulmates. It's just two of you and your family.
Yeah.
It's just you and her, and
Ryan.
and Ryan, obviously. But
but
growing
that's
up,
not always the case, man. Like sometimes the brother-in-law, you're cool, but you're not like brothers.
No.
Ryan's like my bro. Like I know that if I ever got in a problem, that man would fight for me, like physically. Like that you don't find that often, in a brother-in-law, I don't think.
No, you don't. And it's rare. And I had Louise on the podcast and like we Louise and I spoke about her time when she had with Leo through birth, right? And what sometimes happens in these scenarios, right, with lots of stuff, and I always say this, whether it's someone going through depression or whatever, someone going through addiction or someone going through a near-death experience like Louise did, the partners in the family are the ones that also really suffer. Those are the ones who like, and the person like Louise will sit there and go, this time and never go, oh my God, Louise, what's happened? And sometimes we don't ask, hey, Sammy, how are you doing? Man, like, that time for you must have been just horrendous.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting. Ryan, I actually had this chat with Ryan, but about Ryan, no one's actually asked me, to be fair. So that's, a good point. But like, no one had asked Ryan either. And I was like, mate, are you all right? Because like, dude, he saw a lot of blood, and like from the person he loves the most in the world, and he thought she was gonna die like as many times as I did, and he's looking after an infant child who naturally is looking for their mother, and he's never done anything like that before, and he's like, what the fuck? So he really struggled, and
I can't even imagine. Like, Sophie, that happened to Sophie, like, and she's about to have a baby, right?
And then you're just like, he's got to look after, like, the family, Louise, the person he loves the most might die, and little Leo. So, like, mate, don't get me wrong, I really did struggle actually, but that man, like, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves because, like, he held. Hercules, or no, Spider-Man, when Spider-Man's holding the two fucking trains together, mate, like that, he was literally holding the whole fucking ship together. Like, don't get me wrong, I was there through the whole thing, but that man, like, literally fucking, it was tough, mate. I was working a lot.
But I think also with you, Sammy, and I don't want to put words in your mouth as well, is that you're very good at distracting yourself and getting through stuff, and things hit you later,
mate,
because you don't feel it in the moment. And that's maybe the ADHD, like I have. In the moment, we don't feel it. It's later that it hits us.
I don't even think I properly process it now, if I'm honest with you, because I haven't had the time, really, to sit down and talk. Like, I go to therapy quite a bit, mate. We haven't even hit that part.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Sam's sister Louise basically had a very tricky pregnancy and nearly died on giving birth. A few times.
Nearly died 3 times. One was the giving birth. I hope I don't get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. One was the giving birth. The second was she had a hemorrhage in her uterus when she was at home. That was a really scary one. I was at the ITV Palooza, and my mum called me. I was like, "You need to get to the hospital now, mate." I was quite pissed, actually. You know what those things are like, and I was just like, "Fuck!" It's like 11 p.m. So I got in a cab, went to Chelsea and Westminster Hospital. It was just post-COVID, mate. As in, like, hospitals still locked down more so than thinking. Mate, I snuck in and managed to get into the room where Ryan was, and he was like on the floor. Oh my God. And I was
can't
like,
even imagine
mate, that was one of the worst experiences of my entire. I mean, look, we're not even like Louise has to go through it. I mean, fuck me, I've never seen anyone as strong as she is, but like. That was one of the hardest times in my life by an absolute fucking mile, because I remember the doctor came in twice and went, "We can't stop the bleeding." And I was like, "Oh my fucking God, like what?"
This is a nightmare.
Yeah,
what do you mean? Stop it. Stop it. You're a
I was
doctor.
like, mate,
Stop
yeah,
it.
just stop the bleeding.
Just stop
Like,
it. What are you doing? Stop it.
He was amazing. Like he was fucking great. But that was, I will never, ever, ever forget that. And I always think whenever Louise is pissing me off, because I swear to God, she pisses me off a lot. But like, whenever she's fucking me off, I think about that moment a lot, because we are so lucky to still have her. And mate, that's not even, that's the birth. Then like 2 years on, was it 3? She's 2.5. She has colitis and she has sepsis in her fucking stomach because how bad it is. She has to get her colon removed. It's a completely different entity to the birth trauma. She had to go through that, mate. Again, the doctors, I'm there in the hospital talking to her. She's like, I'm dying. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And then she's like, the doctor comes in and goes, you have to get your colon removed. Otherwise you're going to die. Like in the not too distant future. Like as in like, I don't want to say the exact times because I don't know the exact times.
You
but
got to go.
Yeah. Mate, that girl turned around and went, "Get it out." Do you know the bravery you've got to have to be like, "Fucking whip it out, mate"? She was just like, "Do it." Like, I feel so shit. And like, there was just, no, I'm not leaving my son without like whatever. She went, "Get it out, give me the bag." Like, mate, the bravery to have to do that is just fucking out of this world.
What's the best thing about Louise?
Best thing about Louise is that she's the kindest, most empathetic. She's almost overly empathetic. She feels everything. Like everything. And so if you come into her and you go, "Oh, I've had a really bad day," she will literally feel that bad day with you. And I don't think there are many people like that in the world, like my sister. And she will work her ass off to give other people things, not herself. Like, she doesn't need or want anything, my sister, like at all. She just wants to help people.
This year's been big for you, man.
It's been intense. It's been a wild year.
You did a 260-mile endurance challenge.
Turned into 270.
270, baby.
Yeah.
You went from London to Manchester carrying the SoccerAid ball all the way to Old Trafford to go and deliver the football. A mixture of like running and cycling. Brutal. Brutal. How insanely hard is it? Mate. So can I just say this? So I obviously did my challenge, which was 150 miles, right? And I ran it, and I was talking to you quite a lot during it. And Sam was like, "Man, how are the shin splints? Are the shin splints all right? Like, because my shin splints are really freaking bad at the moment." And I was like, and I said to you, I was like, "Sammy, just to warn you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be fucking horrendous."
And you just don't know until you do it.
I said I couldn't. I can't tell you. It's going to be horrendous, but you'll get through it.
And do you know what? I remember. You're going to know this. Anyone who does these kind of things like us, I think the reason that they pick people like us is because we're not that way inclined. Like we don't really have that in our locker.
No, but we're resilient.
We're resilient, like little Jack Russells, maybe.
Just keep going.
And you got the more sort of like athletic people who could do it and probably wouldn't struggle as much as we did. But I remember seeing so many people, just you included, just complete it. Yeah, you went through hell. I only saw that on Instagram. Like, I didn't feel it. And I just saw you go through hell. And I saw Paddy McGuinness go through hell on his bike ride. And I saw JP, who did 76 miles, 76 days. And I went, you've all completed it. And I was like, I did my first marathon. I did a mock marathon 3 weeks, worst decision I'd ever done, by the way. 3 weeks before, because I never recovered from that marathon.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
I can't believe you did it.
Yeah.
I only did a 25-kilometer one.
Mate.
I couldn't do it.
No, but I got cocky and went, I'm just going to try a marathon, mate.
How hard was that marathon?
Mate, I died.
Yeah.
Mate, and my shin splints like split. So I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't even speak about that because the calf happened after that. But I remember doing that and going, oh, no. I was like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't. There's no way I can do this. And I went, how has everyone else just done it? I don't understand. Like, is there like a magical formula?
Is there a cheat code to this?
Is there a cheat code? Or is like, are people like cheating? Like, is there a way that this isn't like how it looks? And I was like, it can't. And what I didn't realize until you do it is you just do, because there's no other option. And we are so much more powerful than we think we are. And actually, you can fucking get through anything. It just fucking sucks. Like, that you can genuinely do it. I mean, I did it with a torn gut. Some people don't believe this, by the way. I'm being deadly serious. So day one,
Who doesn't believe it?
there's a few people like, there's no way you could have done it on a grade 2 tear.
Yeah.
Right? It was a grade 2 tear.
Yeah.
I will never forget. It haunts me to this day. I was 2K away from the end of the first marathon, and I knew something was wrong probably halfway through, because my sort of just by my ankle was like really
That's a bad place as well.
swollen. It was the back of just above my ankle really swollen up, and it felt really tight and hot. And I was like, and I'd never had that. Anything was always in my shins or my ITB, my IT bands around the back.
Yeah.
They're painful.
That bad.
The knees, oh my god,
So bad.
So I was like, I don't know what this is. So I was like, maybe it's just wear and tear. I don't know. Because I didn't know what was happening, I just carried on running.
Yeah.
So the rest, I should have just walked for a lot of it. And I just carried on fucking running. And I was 2K away from the end of the first fucking marathon. I felt like a gunshot had taken my fucking calf out. I genuinely thought someone had come and kicked me from behind. I hadn't noticed. And I was like, what the fuck? And I turned around, there's no one there. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And we were being filmed.
You
mate.
know something's weird when you tear a muscle or do something, you know it.
Mate,
It's like, what is that?
Right? And the worst thing is, there's a documentary team filming the entire thing. It's day one. And I've literally gone, oh, like that. And I've gone, oh my God. And Chris Taylor, one of the nicest guys in the world. You know Chris Taylor,
Yeah.
running guy. He's fucking phenomenal. Wouldn't have got through it without him, by the way. And Tracy, to be fair, my cycling coach, fucking amazing people. And I turned around to him and went, this is really bad. And I went, I can't speak really loudly because obviously there. And then I can see them climbing out of the van with the shoulder mounted cameras. And I'm like, near tears. Because I'm like, I think I know what's happened. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, Tris, I'm in a really, really bad spot here, man. And he went with 2K away, just fucking hobble. And I was like, okay, I'll hobble. Got in at the end. Still got the bike ride to do, by the way. Got into the pub that we were fucking stopping at. Physio goes to me, he goes, mate, you've torn your calf. And I went, what do you mean? He went, you're not running on that. And I went, well, he goes, if you run on that, one, your body won't allow you, so you'll just collapse anyway. But if you did, you'll rupture it, and then you're really fucked. Like forever, for life. And I was like, oh my God. He goes, if you're an athlete, you wouldn't be running for like 2 months. And I'm like, this is day one, man. And so I burst into tears.
Because you think like, I'm going to fail.
Dude,
and also
letting people down.
And also just for yourself, right? You like to achieve things.
I had built myself up for this for months, mate.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the thing. And as you know, I'd gone through a tough time at the start of the year. And I'm like, this is the thing that's going to clear my head and make me, I'm going to come through the other side like a new man. And like, I need this, not just for the charity, selfishly, actually, for me. And then the guilt from the charity came in because I was like, fuck, mate, UNICEF. David Beckham's a fucking ambassador, mate. They could have picked anyone to do that challenge, and they asked me. Anyone. And they asked little old me, and I went, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I won't let you down. And I was like, I've let them down on the fucking first day. I was going to flee the country. I was so sad, embarrassed, and feel like I let everyone down. And I remember the lady came up to me. She went, look, you've already raised like 100 grand. Like, we can. And I went, there's just no way. I'm really sorry. Get me on that fucking bike. And I got on the bike, and the rest is history. We just did it. But like, mate, I'll tell you how
much did you raise?
2 mil. Mate, 2 mil. And do you know what? There's a story that I will always remember. Is the woman, we invited her to the O2 actually. She gave, because people are fucking struggling out there, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you don't need me to tell you, but they really are. And there was a lady who goes, I've just given you the money that I treat myself to a Costa once a week with to donate. And I just wept. I was like, that is like, you know, when people come together and like not that I don't want to make it seem like countrywide, but like the people who knew in the country about this run coming together for a cause that is like, do you know what? I really do believe that people are inherently good
Yeah, they are. That's
when
exactly.
they're born. I think there are very, very few evil people in this world, like very few, a lot fewer than social media will lead us to believe. And I think that people just need a reason to be good. They just need a reason, man. Like, and whether that's like giving that Costa money, like, or like being there, mate, the wind and the sleet and rain and the people there for you, mate, who are there, like clapping you in. Like, people want to be part of a good feeling and
That's
a
what
good
connects
cause.
us.
It's what connects us as human beings, mate. I've never wanted to do something like that more, because not a run, but like something that can unite people. I've never felt love around and an energy like that in my entire life.
You know, say I had exactly the same thing. Yours was that moment, right? That sort of kept you going. And what I realized on my run is that like people are awesome. That's what I really realized, that people are incredible and we connect through being amazing. It's unbelievable.
I will now, I attribute so much, and I think you do too, to that run.
Yeah,
like
it was amazing.
We are so lucky to have been able to do that run. By the way,
yeah.
like so many people would want to do something like that.
What are you most proud of?
I'm really proud of where life's ended up, and I think it could have not ended up where it is now, and I'm eternally grateful to the Pete's of this world as well for like, he'd been in the trenches.
What would you say to someone who's maybe in that position now? You're just feeling like, oh my God, you feel like you've hit this ceiling and you're just like, this is it. I'm going to feel like this forever. What would you say to someone listening who's maybe stuck at that place?
I'm a moaner. I moan a lot. And I'm lucky enough to have people around me that listen to my moans. So like Marvin, Tony, I know you wouldn't really maybe expect that, but like Marvin, he's a real one.
Really?
Tony, real one. Like, there were times throughout this year where it's been pretty tough.
This is Marvin Hughes and Tony Bellew.
Yeah, mate. Pete is a given.
Of course.
Like, I mean, and that, by the way, that shouldn't just be glossed over. Like, he's a given because he's just such an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Marvin was calling my sister, being like, I need you to tell me Sam's okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was like, I need you to go around there right now. I need you to put the phone against his ear.
Wow.
And like, Tony was like, I'm getting you.
Because it was that bad?
No, just because he wanted to be there for me. Like he's just that guy. And Tony was like buying me fucking. Tony was literally like, "You're coming up to stay with me, champ." And I was like, "What, in Liverpool?" He's like, "You're coming up to stay with me, champ." And I was literally like, "Yeah, we're gonna live with my family." And I was like, "Tony, I can't do that." He was like he's just.
Makes you realise in those moments how important friends are.
How important friends are, man. And so I would say lean on your friends if you're going through it. This is actually just about in life.
100%,
like,
man.
If you're going through anything in life,
Yeah.
like, you need to be able to lean on your friends.
Lean on,
family.
dude, lean on. That's why friends are important. And if you don't have friends, lean on a community, lean on someone, lean on neighbours. I don't know, anyone, the person who's in the village shop, whatever it is, lean on someone.
Yeah.
Speak to someone.
It's hard. It's so easy to say, like, it's so easy to be like, lean on someone, like, speak to someone. If you've got no one to speak to, I get it. That's why these talk club things are great. But yeah, I would say it always, sorry, lame, time.
Always.
And I know that sounds so stupid, but time will get you through most things.
2026, what do you want to achieve?
2026, I want to spend more time with my family again, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I know
brilliant.
it's such a broken record, but like,
Love that.
mate, I think I got lost a few times in my years in work, and I don't think I've spent enough time living life, actually living it, and like,
How much happier do you feel?
Oh, mate.
It's insane. It's
Dude.
the secret. It's the secret sauce, which is so simple.
And I realised that actually, like, life is actually. It sounds. God, I sound like one of those awful podcast people. But life is genuinely just about being surrounded by the people you love. Like,
Buddy, I chatted to a guy called Robert Wallingford who did the happiness test, right? He said at the end of people's lives, what they always say is it's not the things they've achieved, not the Ferrari they drove, not the yacht they had, none of that. People only talk about the connections they had. That's what they say. I was a great friend. I was a great husband, wife, dad, mum, aunt, whatever it is. Has a great cousin. That's what they talk about at the end of their lives.
The only thing I care about is being able to be in a place where I'm genuinely happy, like genuinely happy, like not like what I think will make me happy, like what actually makes me happy. I think that's the way to do it.
Let's go, Sammy.
Let's go, baby.
Sammy, this has been insane, brother. Honestly, this has been insane. Thanks, man.
Pleasure. Thank you for having
Love
me.
you, Sammy. Listen, we like to end the conversation with 8 questions. You ready for this?
Oh my God, here we go. What we got?
What's the saying or phrase that makes you smile or cheers you up?
So this is probably meant to be fast paced, isn't it?
No, it doesn't have to be.
Saying or phrase
That makes you smile or cheers you up. It can be anything from let's have a chat, or it can be like it's something your nephew says, or something Louise says, or something your parents say, or something you say in your podcast.
love you. Yeah, I really like it. I really like that word.
Yes.
I really like that saying.
Yes. What would you want people to remember about you if they only met you once?
Not just he's like really excitable, energetic, and fun. Like probably he's a nice person.
100%. It's always the one.
Yeah.
What scares you most about yourself?
That my masking of in certain situations sometimes overrides me, and that I'm like and I don't be me because I'm scared that people sit there and go, oh, but you're not bringing the energy that you always bring, and you're like that scares me, because then I'm like, what if the masking takes over? That scares me a lot.
That's your 2026 thing.
Yeah.
That is 2026, is to like, because I had that for so long, and then I realized actually being in your state of like just being comfortable with who you are, that's the moment of freedom. We always try and be the loudest or the funniest or this or that. And actually when we start to just be us, that's when people almost connect with us more.
Yeah.
What would your death row meal be?
Oh, mate, death row meals got to be. This is so boring. I'd probably say spaghetti with clams.
Delicious. Delicious.
Oh, that's weird.
Where
Maybe
you-
it's not boring, actually.
I like that. Where are you having it?
Where am I having it? At a beach bar in Marbella. Yeah, I go there with my dad. Me and him always I've been going to that same beach bar with my dad since I was literally like 5 years old.
What's something you can't let go of?
My cats.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Gaming.
Yeah.
Gaming. I love to game.
Which one?
Oh, COD. I any all like this sounds Hogwarts Legacy. I love. 33 years old. The girl I'm dating doesn't know I do this, by the way. Yeah, I still sort of still pretend. Yeah, she hasn't seen that part of me. Yeah, I love getting stuck into fantasy. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like I love Lord of the Rings. I'll sit down and watch Lord of the Rings like most weekends.
It's the best.
It's the best, and the extended edition has to be the extended one.
What's your biggest turn off?
Rudeness.
Mm.
I know. I'm sure loads of people say that.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly what I would say.
I just can't understand why people are rude sometimes, and it baffles me because it normally comes from the people you wouldn't expect it to come from.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? There's no need to act like that.
How could you ever? I don't know. Yeah. What turns you on?
Ambition from the other person.
Great shout. What do you like most about yourself?
God, it's depressing. I can't. The fact that it just doesn't spring to mind.
Yeah, but it's hard with Brits.
I think I'm like nice to be around. Like I think
great
people,
to be. You're great energy.
I think people. Yeah, I think people like to be in my company. I think
You're 100%. And also from my side, I see you're one of the hardest working people. Like that's you are. You truly are, and that's something we didn't even mention in the podcast. The fact where like how hard you work is like insane. Bonus one: Shag, Marry, Kill, Pete Wicks, Tony Bellew, Marvin Humes.
Oh, you're a cunt. You're a bad person. You're a bad bloke. Shag, marry, kill.
Who are you shagging?
Oh, I don't think I could take it off tone. Pete always says, he goes, why are you always taking it? 'Cause I don't have to.
Why, yeah. Why are you always taking
I
it?
don't know. Could I clap Tony's cheeks? I don't know.
It's missionary.
Eye level.
Would you shag Tony?
I don't think I could. I think I'd marry Marv.
Marry Marv.
Because he'd be the best husband to me. Because I know he's the best. I mean, as is Tony, to be fair. But I'm around Marvin a little bit more, and the way he treats his wife and kid, he'd treat me. He'd treat me well. Marvin,
So you're shagging.
I'm shagging Marvin.
You're shagging Marvin. You're marrying Pete.
I'm probably killing Pete, and I'm shagging Tone. And I'll tell you for why. Because I'd kill Pete and then do a doc about it. We'd do a Netflix doc called Killing Peter, and it'd be like, how did he do it? How did he? And I know Pete would be looking down, and be like, you fucking prick, you've turned that into content.
Sammy boy, you're the greatest. I want everyone to go and check out your podcast, everything you've done as well. Leave it all in the show description. You're the best, Sammy. We love you so much.
Thank you, man, for having me.
On, baby.
Pleasure.
Hey!
Yeah,
Sammy!
Oh.